A Delaware judge is allowing Twitter to expedite its lawsuit against Elon Musk.
That's right. The decision puts the trial on a fast track for October. The social media giant is looking to force the world's richest man to make good on his $44 billion offer to purchase the company. Musk pledged to pay more than $52 a share back in April. But since then, the billionaire announced he is backing out of the deal. He claims the social media platform hasn't provided him with the information he requested in order to complete the acquisition. So let's bring in Elizabeth Dwoskin now for more on this. She's a Silicon Valley correspondent at the Washington Post. Elizabeth, welcome. It's great to have you with us. So remind us how we got here and exactly how significant is the judge's ruling today?
It's the first big win for Twitter in the case. Basically, Elon Musk has been trying to get out of this $44 billion deal that he signed, an ironclad contract in Twitter's eyes and in many experts' eyes to buy the company. He's been bashing Twitter constantly on Twitter. He has like 100 million followers. And so Twitter took him to court when he said he wanted to get out of the deal officially last week. He'd been hinting at it for months. Twitter said, "We're taking you to court to enforce the terms of this deal." And today was the first hearing, and the result was a big win for Twitter.
Well, Musk is expected to countersue Twitter. What does this legal battle mean for the future of the social media platform?
I mean, first of all, this will be probably the most epic court battle in business history ever. At least it's going to rank up there. Because you have the world's richest man pitted against one of the most popular social media companies in the world. The worry that Twitter has repeatedly expressed in court and seems very real is that Twitter is going to emerge no matter what, battered and bruised. Their stock price is already down quite drastically, not just because of the economy, but because of Musk. You can see that every time he attacks the company on Twitter, the stock price goes lower. So Twitter has lost a huge amount of value, even since Musk said he was going to buy the company at a premium. And Twitter is worried that that's just going to get worse if this case drags on. That's something that the judge actually agreed with Twitter on. In fact, she said the reality of the delay, I'm reading from my notes, the reality is that the delay requested by Musk threatens irreparable harm to Twitter. So she agreed, and she wants to limit Twitter emerging battered and bruised and have a relatively quick trial in October, and I'm sure I'll be spending a lot of time in Delaware at that time.
You know, it's interesting, though. I'm curious what the end game really is here. At the end of the day, what does Twitter's board really want, and who does it really want to be running the company?
Well, I think it's like the biggest question you could ask in this case, because why is Twitter trying so hard to get this person who clearly doesn't even want to buy the company, has been trashing the company, has been saying he's going to be open to laying people off, make massive changes to Twitter's business, its operations, its policies. He's even said he's likely to restore Donald Trump's account. So overriding the policymakers at Twitter who are making decisions around content. So why would they want this person? Why would they want this person that they're going so far as to take the guy to court to say you have to buy us? And you step back and you say, but why would Twitter want you? Why wouldn't Twitter walk away? And I think that the answer just boils down to shareholder value. Twitter feels like if the deal falls apart at this point, that is going to tank their share price further. And my feeling is that it's not about what employees want or what executives want anymore. It's really about what they think is what shareholders can get out of this. And I think they still feel like Elon Musk buying the company at a high premium is going to deliver value to the shareholders. And that is the mission of the board. But it definitely is in opposition, I would think, to what I know many employees want, many executives want, and what also might ultimately be good for the company in the long run. Elon Musk has no experience running social media companies. He's one of the world's greatest entrepreneurs, but every time he talks about Twitter and social media, he sounds really naive and also kind of like dismissive of the work that the company has done, some of which I've covered for the last few years, and I think is very smart and often good in the sense that it's been copied by other social media companies. we can go into that. But for example, like the labeling, Twitter puts labels over tweets that potentially break its rules, which gives the users choice about whether they want to click into a tweet or not. Twitter pioneered that, and then all other social media companies followed that. That's just one example. Twitter has a lot of problems as well, and definitely could be improved. Twitter has sort of failed. It's been so popular for so many years, and yet has never reached the scale of a Facebook or a YouTube or a TikTok, and has never reached the monetization or revenue of its much larger rivals, despite having a really big influence on the culture because of all the leaders and influencers and politicians that are on it. So there's certainly huge room for improvement from Twitter. I'm just doubtful that Elon Musk is the one.
Well, you described the battle as epic. It certainly seems to be shaping up to be an epic fight. Elizabeth Dwoskin. Elizabeth, thank you so much for your insight.
Thanks,
for
Elizabeth.
having me.